Here is 25-2's homework answer key by video. Okay, so a billboard is 40 feet tall. This is the billboard. At a horizontal distance x from the billboard, so basically this is the empty space or the pole that's holding it. So this is like a pole, but this is actually the billboard. So the 40 is just from here to here. The angle of elevation to the bottom of the sign. So here's the bottom of the sign right here. The angle of elevation of that is 20. And then the angle of elevation to the top of the sign, which is right here, is 40. So that's all of this, the whole thing, which means this little part of that is 20. So they're both 20. So I'm not sure which angles we're going to need, but I know that this one right here is going to be 70 because 90 and 20 is 110 and 70 is 180. And then knowing your straight angle theorem, if that's 70, this is 110 because together these two have to be 180 because they're on a straight line. And then 110 and 20 is 130. Don't look at the 40. This is 130. So this one up here is 50 because you're looking at 20. 50, that's 70, and 110 is 180. So hopefully you understand those angles. And the only side that we know is this side. So we're going to have to use this triangle. No matter what we're solving for, we're going to have to use this triangle first because we know a side. It says, how far away is the billboard? So we need to know this, x. How far away is the billboard? Because you're going to see how far this is. The billboard is up here, but it's still in straight line with this area. So you're solving for x. So we're going to solve, we need to know one of these two sides in order to help us find x. So I think it's going to be easiest to find this side right here, this hypotenuse of this first triangle, because we know this side 40. So we're going to go sine of 20 over 40, that's this one. Sine of 20 and 40, that's one ratio, is equal to sine 50 over, we're going to call this y. So we cross multiply. We have sine 50 times 40 equals, that's sine 50 times 40, divided by sine 20. So it's 89.6. So y is 89.6. Now that is this. I'm going to write that in green. So this area, this side right here is 89.6. Now, when we're using the calculation of this to find this, we're going to use the whole decimal that's on our calculator. This is just rounding it for the picture purpose. So to find x, x is across from sine 70. So we're going to go sine 70 over x. And then we're going to use 90 for this one. Sine 90 over 89.6. But remember, give me a few more decimals here when you're doing this math. So we're going to go sine 70 times all of this, 89.6. Congratulations. Highlight that. And you're going to get 84.2. I'm on video. Just give me a second. 84.2.
They're going to hear me on that video.
So x is 84.2, and that's the side. And it looks like we are in feet, so I'm going to say it's 84.2 feet. Determine the number of possible triangles for each situation. You guys give me 10 minutes? Okay, I can do this in 10 minutes. All right, so determine the possible triangles. So in this one right here, the oddball is A and A, the oddball is C. So that 10, the adjacent side goes on the outsides. The other side, 5, goes in the middle. Put in your less than signs, and then put in sine 30 with the first one. So sine 30 is 1/2. 1/2 times 10 is 5. Now the only time that you get the height, because this is the height, to be equal to this side right here, it means it's a right triangle. So this is a right triangle. And if it's a right triangle, there's one solution, or one triangle. So for B, let's do B down here. The oddball of this one is 90. You see that? C, you got big B, little b, and then C. So we're going to put the 90 here and here. I put side 75 in the middle, and we're going to go sine 63. So 90 times sine 63 is the height, and that is 80.2. Now this is less than 75, so if the first part is false, there are no triangles that exist for B. Now that's different than this one. This one's false, but it's not like, it just means whenever they're equal, it means your base and your height are the same, which means it's a right triangle, which is one triangle. And C. The oddball one is 47, so we're going to do C down here. So 47 and 47, put the 60 here, and you got sine 110. So 47 and sine 110 is 44.2, and that's less than 60, and that's not less than 47. This one's false. When this last part is false, when you get the first part to be true, there's at least one. When this is false, that means there's only one triangle. So C is one triangle. And D, I know I'm all over the place here, but D, we're going to do up here. So in D, it's the oddball side. The adjacent side is 9. So 9 and 9. The opposite side is also 9. Ooh, lots of 9s. So we have sine of 60. 9 sine of 60 is 7.8. So this is true, so that means there's at least one. And when these are equal, when your two sides are equal, that means it's isosceles, which means there's one triangle. Solve the two-solution ambiguous case. Just so you know, the oddball here is 9. So he goes on the outsides, 8. And then you have sine 52. 9 of sine 52 is 7.1. So this is why there are two answers, because this is all true. Two triangles. I feel like I already did this one. Do you have questions? So we're going to draw two triangles. A, B, C, 52. A is 9. Bye. So you guys here to make up work? What did I tell you that you're missing? Do you remember? Can you bring up your grades? Okay, so draw two triangles with the same stuff. So we're going to call the ones that we don't know A1, C1, and small c1. And the ones that we don't know over here are A2, C2, and side C2. First triangle, second triangle. That's why we're using 1s and 2s. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to use this B ratio. Sine of 52 over 8 equals sine of A1 over 9. Now we're solving for an angle, so we will have to use the arc sine button. Let me get our final answer here. So we have sine of 52 times 9 equals that, divided by 8, and you get this. Because we're finding an angle, we have to do arc sine, highlight, enter, and it's 62.4 for A1. So I'm going to fill that in here. 62.4. So I'm going to go A1 is 62.4. Now immediately we're going to go over to here to A2. The way that we find that, since this is 62.4 here, there's another angle in the second quadrant that has a sine that's equivalent to sine of 62.4. And that you find that by taking 180 minus 62.4. And the obtuse angle on the other one is 117.6. So whenever you find an angle here, the other one on the other triangle will be obtuse. So I know this is not a draw to scale drawing, but it's all right. So let's go back to triangle 1 and figure out the rest of these. So we have 180 minus 62.4 minus 52, and you get 65.6. And then to find side C here, we're going to go sine of 52 over 8. That's this ratio. And now we're going to find the C ratio. Sine of 65.6 over C. So we have sine of 65.6, close your parentheses, times 8, divided by sine of 52, for 9.24. So this is 9.2. So A is 62.4, C1 is 65.6, and little c is 9.2. These are your 3 answers in this first triangle. So try to keep all this separate from the next one. Over here, we're going to take 180, this should be a small angle, minus our obtuse angle, 17.6, minus 52. Very small angle, 10.4. So A2 is 117.6, C2 is 10.4, and now we're going to solve for side C2. So we're going to go sine of 52 over 8 equals sine of 10.4 over C2. Did you guys look up what you're missing?
I did.
And what is it?
Homework, review, quiz 1, and part 2 of that, I think. And then U5B.
Go see if you can find U5B homework on the shelf over there.
I need review, quiz, part 2, homework.
Yeah, those are over there. Those reviews should be over there too.
This stuff?
It should be 123.
UF5. No, that's quiz.
U5F, that's a homework. And these are all, that's a homework also.
The review.
Yeah, it actually says, this actually says quiz 1A.
Quiz 1A.
So, do you see anything that says quiz 1A over there?
And then I need UFD. U5D. I'm tripping.
Quiz 1 is the review that I think both of you are missing.
Is it review quiz part 2?
That's part 2, yes. The one that's part 1 is, yeah, that was leading up to the 50-point quiz.
Let's just do it together and put up our names on it.
That's fine. Okay, I'll put these in.
And then this is Unit 5 quiz on adding and subtracting units.
That's this one right here.
Where's part 1 to this? I'm not honestly probably got
That's a Y at the end. To figure below, find angle Z, which is right here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and find X, Y, W, X, Y, Z, X, Y, if necessary, round. Okay, lots of stuff here. So the only angle we know right now is 46.5. We know that the two of these sum is 90. We know that the sum of these two is 180. So we're going to use these sides to help us find this angle. So this is a side angle. So we should take the 9.2, which is not across from 46.5, put it here and here. Put the 6.8 here, and put sine of 46.5 here, just to make sure that there's not two possible answers for this. I'm praying there's not. 9.2 times sine of 46.5 equals 6.6. According to this, there is actually two answers. There's two answers for angle 1. for the sake of time, we're just going to do this one time. We're just going to find this first one. There technically is 2 angles for angle 1, which means there's 2 different answers for this one too. I'm not doing that. It's too much work. This is hard enough as it is. All right, so we're just going to find one triangle, okay? So this is 46.5. Let's start with our first one. Sine of 46.5 over its opposite side, 6.8, equals sine of angle 1, that's this one, over side 9.2. So we're going to start by doing sine of 46.5 times 9.2 equals divided by 6.8 equals this. Now we're trying to find angle 1, so we're going to press second sign of the previous decimal. Angle 1 is 78.9. So let's organize. Angle 1 is 78.9. Just so you know, there technically is another answer for that. It's the 180 minus 78.9. So the other answer to that is 101.1. And which does this angle look more like 101 or does it look more like 78.9 by the drawing? I say by the drawing, 90 would be right here. I'm going to say this is 78.9. This is definitely not over 90. So I'm going to say the 101 would be thrown out anyway if this was to scale. So the other angle, angle 4, is the next one we're going to find. That is going to be 180 minus this angle and this angle. So 46.5 and 78.9. I'm changing to a different pen. I need my red marker. Okay, it's 54.6. Actually, I'll keep it in. So this one's 54.6 degrees, so that's 54.6 degrees. Now angle 2 is supplementary with this one because this is a linear line. This is a line, and the sum of angles, this is the linear postulate. These 2 angles equal 180. So we're going to have 180 minus 78.9. So I should show the work for this. 180 minus 78.9 is 101.1. That's what angle 2 is. So we're going to put that in, 101.1. And that was the angle of the other one that we found. And this one does look more obtuse than this one. So you have to decide, is this one 78.9 or is it 101? This is the 78.9 and this is the 101. This is more obtuse than this one. Okay, now angle 3. Okay, we can find angle 3 right now. These 2 together equal 90. So we can do 90 minus 54.6 for a total of 35.4. So angle 3 is equal to 35.4 because it's complementary to angle 4. So they did not ask us to find angle Z. Oh, yes, they did. It's right there. Let's find angle Z. So angle Z is 180 minus these 2. For a 43.5. So all the angles have been found. Now we have to find some sides. First side is XW. Finding XW. I'm going to do the sides with my pen here. Find XW. That's across from angle 4. Okay, this side right here. We're going to call it XW. So to find XW, we're going to take sine of 54.6 over side XW equals, we can do any of these. Let's do this one. Sine of 46.5 over 6.8. So we have sine of 54.6 parenthesis times 6.8 equals divided by sine of 46.5 equals that That's weird. What did I do wrong? Sine of 54.6 times 6.8. Oh, I didn't press divided by. I just realized it. Try that again. Sine of 54.6 times 6.8 equals divided by sine of 46.5. There we go, 7.6. That sounds better. So this side is 7.6. So XW is 7.6. We got 3 more things to find. Next thing is WX. Where is that? Wait, I thought I just found that one. XW and WX are the same thing. That's silly. No work needed. Okay, YZ. We're finding this one. So to find YZ, we're going to go sine of 101.1 over YZ equals, we'll do this one right here, sine of 43.5 over 6.8. So sine of 101.1 times 6.8 equals 6.7 divided by sine of 43.5, which is 9.7. And the last one is XZ. That's this whole thing. So we need to find this one, and then we'll add these together. Or we could do the Pythagorean theorem, because this is a right triangle. Let's do the Pythagorean theorem just for fun. We've got this big triangle here. Do you see this? So we got 9.2 squared plus 9.7 squared equals XZ is the whole hypotenuse over here, squared. So we got 9.2. Let's do the square root of 9.2 squared. Is that everything?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for making all that up. We're all square. 13.4. You may get a slightly tenth of a difference if you do it the other way, but I decided to do the Pythagorean theorem since it is a big right triangle. Explain why 2 triangles are possible if you have this. So you're given an angle and its opposite side. So this is an SSA. So you take the 16, which is the adjacent side, and you split them. And then you put the side that's opposite the given angle in the middle. And then you put the sine of 30 here. If this whole thing is true, there are 2 triangles. So sine of 30 is 1/2. 1/2 times 16 is 8. Since this is a true conjunction, 8 is less than 10 and 10 is less than 16. There are 2 triangles. Last one. How wide is the river? How wide is the river is this. This is what we want to know right here. How wide is the river? Show your work. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to find one of these sides in order to do this. But first we need to find this whole angle up here. So we're going to take 180 minus 52 minus 48, and it's going to equal 80. So this whole angle up here is 80. So we're going to start by going sine 80 over 280 equals, it doesn't matter which side we find, we'll go sine of 52 over this side right here. We'll call this side Q. So it's sine 52 times 280 equals divided by sine 80 for 224.04. Okay, so that is Q. And then we're going to find X. So to find X, remember this is 90, right? So you can say sine of 90 over 224.05 is equal to sine 48 over x. So sine 48 times all of this equals this divided by sine 90, which is just dividing by 1. Says 166.5. So the river is 166.5. What is it in feet wide? That's the x. We don't know how wide it is. That's how wide the river is. All right, that's it.